distant when you're home, always hanging by your phone. Do I even know you? And I get paranoid sometimes, 'cause I know that you're in mine, and I'm lost without you. You still be the one I talk to when I'm sad. Can't you see no tainted love is all we have? Our issues run so deep, now when I try to sleep I feel so bad. I should leave, and by the time it's done, I'll be
when you feel the world is over, when you say you're feeling lonely, if you ever need a shoulder, you know where to find me. Stop chasing all the city lights, breathe me in, go on and take your bite. Count on me to make you come alive.
Hi, I'm Hanzi and I'm a cosplayer and streamer, and today we're checking out the Nitro 5 by AESA. This is honestly one of the smoothest gameplay experiences that I've had, especially on a laptop. The graphics are amazing, it's not laggy, it's very lightweight. The keyboard feels really nice to play with, and I love the RGB lights. Look how pretty they are. We love a rainbow. Yes! 4-star! 4-star character! If you're looking for a gaming laptop on the go, be sure to check out ACE's range.
Hello and welcome to the 2022 AEL R6 University League Season 1. I'm Spudoom. With me is Commandante, and we're here to bring you another bang of a match between some great universities playing some great Siege. Before we start though, of course, we have to give a big shout out to our sponsors. Thank you for making all of this possible. The AEUL is sponsored by Predator, the gaming PC partner, AOC Monitors, the monitor partner, and RIG, the headset partner. None of this would be possible without them, so again, big thank you and shout out to them. But Com, it's been a bit of a wild ride for some of these teams. We're in round five, of our tournament, and yeah, who do we have playing on the big screen for us today?
Well, tonight, we have two fine teams. We have UwUniSA versus the Dugongs once again, who I casted previously. So I'm very excited for tonight's matchup. The two maps that both teams have selected is Clubhouse and Oregon. And interestingly, UwUniSA actually picked Clubhouse, which Dugongs is also a favorite of the map as well. And Dugongs has picked Oregon as their choice of map. So it's definitely going to be interesting coming into our first round here on Clubhouse, since both teams are probably very comfortable on it. So I think it's just going to be the little things that are going to win out in the end for which team is actually going to come out ahead in this first matchup.
Yeah, little things indeed, and often Siege comes down so often to those, as you said, mini games, little things, getting everything right, and certainly on both of these maps, both staples of the competitive scene, you need to get everything right. And I mean, it will come down to that because there's actually very little separating these two teams in terms of scorelines. If we look at their previous results, both teams have, well, UniSA has taken 1 win, 1 loss, and 1 tie with a single bye round, and Dugongs 1 win, 2 losses, and a single tie. So again, it's pretty much a 1-1-1 situation. Dugongs only have 1 more loss because, well, they've just played 1 more round compared to UniSA, and of course they have a bye coming up too. So it could be anyone's game here. And interestingly enough, both of these teams went 1-1 against Griffith Red. So there is something to be said there about, very similar scorelines. And I think we'll see quite evenly matched teams tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I'm very excited for tonight. Hopefully I don't jinx Dugongs this time. I'll make sure not to put in my caster curse, of course. So yeah. Hopefully we'll be in soon. And...
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that Dugongs are fans of Clubhouse and well, and yeah, I just looked back at the match we casted the very first week this was on stream. Yeah, Dugongs indeed did pick Clubhouse, and I do remember it was against UniMelb Arctics. This was a one-sided affair for UniMelb Arctics on their map, but once we got to Clubhouse for Dugongs, it was actually quite an even battle. It went very close to overtime, I believe. So
yeah, it went all the way to full overtime, Spudoom.
Yeah.
So Dugongs are definitely very confident on this.
Yeah, exactly.
The last
8-7.
few
It was
weeks.
8-7. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And especially against a fairly strong team, it was very surprising to see how they held their ground on this map. So we can only hope for the best for both teams. I think it'll be a really fun matchup if they're both playing on a map that they're comfortable with. So hopefully we can see some good action.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, UniMap Arctic so far in this group has gone unchecked. They've beaten every single team. I don't think they've taken a loss, and there's a lot of 2-0s in there as well. Maybe a tie somewhere down the line. Both these teams did lose to UniMap Arctic's 2-0, but again, we saw Dugongs take it all the way to full overtime in the very first week on Clubhouse, and whereas for UniSA, they didn't have the same impact on UniMob Arctic. So if anything, perhaps my bets are leaning towards Dugongs, funnily enough, because yeah, just based on how they've played against similar opponents, Griffith Red, and based on how they've performed against a really strong opponent, UniMob Arctic, if we look at the head-to-head, yeah, the odds are in Dugong's favor, and especially now that UniSA has picked Clubhouse, and we've seen Dugong playing a really mean Clubhouse. I don't know. My money's on Dugong for this match.
Well, I think it's very dangerous to call who's gonna win the first map, but I am also leaning towards Dugongs, so hopefully both of us don't ruin
Yeah.
their chances.
Yeah, you know you've got it bad when two casters jinx you, right? Then yeah, maybe it cancels out. I'm not sure how
Yeah,
caster curse
that's
works.
right, that's right.
Yeah, but that might be the specifics of it. But we'll have to wait and see once we get into the match. We're just waiting for a couple of hours to come through, all the players to get ready. And yeah, I mean, we've talked about our predictions. We've talked about, how these teams have played against each other. But, there's really not much else to say now besides, how is this going to play out? What are the bands going to be like as we head into our first map, Clubhouse?
The good luck, have funs have come out from both teams. Good sportsmanship indeed. I reckon the first ban will probably be fairly common. Probably a Thatcher, perhaps. I think is a solid ban. Indeed, right on the money there. And then it seems we have a bit of issues. So I think we're going to come right back to us again.
Well, I believe UniSA has shown their hand now. They will be taking out the Thatcher. And again, we've mentioned standard ban, nothing too complex. And I think both of these teams will be going for, the standard bans just to make sure they're comfortable. As we mentioned, this map, people play it a lot. You're comfortable on it, but you don't want your opponent to have the maximum amount of comfort as well. And so Habana and Kaid ban also make a lot of sense. Habana keeping the hatches shut, though usually we do see the Jackal, and that's a notable operator that will pass through this ban phase. And Kaid without the Thatcher makes it very, very difficult. So no surprises there.
But of course, there's much more for Heartbreak. You've got the secondary gadgets, of course. So perhaps hard breaching force hatches aren't as important anymore.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely a huge point you bring there. I'm thinking Buck in particular, so much soft destruction and vertical play, but he also brings those 2 extra hard breach charges, and it's a huge boon from when he only had 1. And you could even get away with just bringing a Buck and another single hard breacher for that bottom floor site. So yeah, you're right. I really think that we'll see a bit more flexibility in terms of the new, more hard breaches, not having to rely so much on a dedicated hard breacher. But one notable ban, I do want to look at the Malusi ban. Yeah, not something I expected to see, but what do you think is the reasoning behind that?
Well, I think Malusi in general is just fairly oppressive as an operator. Especially there are some really cheeky places you can put the Malusi gadget, and it's just gonna really slow down your push. Having it on like this, there's a lot of choke points on Clubhouse we can push through from. So especially such as the cache, the workshop backside, coming up red stairs, for example, garage. On the bottom side as well, you've only got a few stairs they can go through, and just being able to warn the defenders about where the attackers are coming from is just really important. It slows down the game as well, so the defenders won't get surprised, for example. So overall, I think it just helps the attackers' peace of mind. And I feel like these bans are fairly excited for the attackers, especially with Jackal up on the board.
Yeah.
Clubhouse being fairly notorious for if you can keep map control as the defenders as long as possible, it makes attacking it really problematic. So with Jackal on the board, it's going to help that a little bit more to get rid of the roamers.
Yeah, you You're right. You're right. There are so many choke points on Clubhouse that you really don't want to be dealing with that extra slowdown, and especially with the momentum on the attack. As you mentioned, very difficult to attack, so you don't want to be slowed down when you're going for that push. You don't want to be giving that extra intel, and I think both of these teams historically have struggled a little bit on the attack side, and especially with Clubhouse, yeah, makes sense. You want to get rid of that Malusi. Also, a 3-speed with impact grenades, and also got that bulletproof camera. Lots of information that can be put out there. So, yeah, does make sense. Interesting, but it's not the standard ban. But I definitely think UniSA are onto something here. They've got a plan here, and yeah, I also like the banner ban. Yeah, getting rid of some of the ability to open up hatches, especially on that bottom floor, can be very, very useful. Overall, some solid bans. We do see the Jackal, we do see Mira, Valkyrie left on board, so I would be really keen to see how they're used, especially the Mira. We really don't see that a lot nowadays since, she gets banned so much.
And also another thing,
Well, I believe we may have lost Commandante. Yeah, I'm sure he had something. Oh, yes, that's right. We lost you there, Commandante. You kind of lagged out, but I figured you were talking about Attacker Repick. Yes, Attacker Repick, of course, is now live, has been live for the past couple of weeks while we've been playing this season, and some teams have been using it to full effect. They've been rotating the entire lineup, whereas some other teams still like to stick with what they had at the start. They go for the same thing. They know what they're doing, and it's going to be interesting to see whether these teams, especially on Clubhouse, where you have such a set meta and set pieces you need to get through, whether they're going to be using that Attacker Repick to full effect, choosing and rotating completely, or whether they're just going to stick with what they trust, what they're comfortable, which, as we mentioned, is a huge factor on this map.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the defenders also have the option to repick now.
No. Commandante, it is now that I have to announce to you that you have been bamboozled and you have been debated. No, they do not have. There is no defender repick. As interesting as that would make the game, but yeah. CCTV, Cash, standard top floor site. Not much to say about it except for the fact that it's a very nice place to defend, but also can be very, very claustrophobic. Relatively two small rooms that you can play in. You can play underneath. You obviously need to extend into rafters, but rafters is kind of that power position, that key point of contention that you see, and flushing out rafters is really the first step to getting anywhere.
Yep, and we see, of course, the mirror pick coming right out from Dugongs, so they're definitely going to use this to full effect. Definitely quite a few different areas you can put the mirror, and it just really makes a strong chokehold. Especially even if you lose the garage wall, you still have a really good position in cache where you can set it up to help defend against the enemy attackers. So we're definitely going to see how this plays out and where the first mirror is going to go. And in fact, it's going to go right aggressive. Oh, first pick coming up from Ginja. That's very unfortunate. The Alibi probably being a bit greedy there, trying to get a cheeky first pick, and of course the attackers were ready for that since it's often a classic spawn peak position.
Unlucky, really should have learnt better, but yeah, not really much gained for that, and now already starting to work on this wall. The mirror window, as you remember, now that you can punch it, doesn't have quite the same effect, and it will be quickly rendered unusable by maybe opening up and throwing it as C4. I could see that happening. But yeah, Maverick making short work of that wall. That's usually what you do with that, but so far it's staying pretty shut, and that is interesting. Now with that wall, that hole open, it does make it a little bit more tricky to Maverick trick.
Does it affect the center of the beam where you want to get it through?
I don't think it removes it, but in this case it makes it a bit more vulnerable because you can be impact tricked or a C4 thrown out. Though with some good cover from Storm and of course a player on the balcony, maybe they won't have to worry about it too much, it seems.
But I guess it's pretty good since it has stalled it down I'm just wondering maybe attackers will have to approach this from a different angle because they've yet to push into Garage, and a very key takeout onto the Jackal there. It's going to alleviate the roam clear from the enemy attack. And actually getting rid of them, the Finger has dropped into office now, trying to combat with the Mute, and the Mute is taken out in the process, so this is good refrag here from the Finger. And now there's pressure from the other side. Another pick gain for the attackers, taking out the Jaeger. Nitro coming out from the Bandit, maybe to get a cheeky pick, but they've yet to enter. Nitro goes out, probably destroying the Nitro on the underground as well. And that's actually opened up the wall for the attacking team without the Sledge having to risk his life.
Yeah, a bit of
And
a
just some
misplay.
droning.
Yeah, a bit of a misplay, I was going to say, but maybe Danny could get a pick here and actually bring it back, though I think they are relatively aware of his position. And of course, there is still the issue of this Finker over in the bedroom. Pink's coming out now, going for the swing. He's being a little careful not to get too aggressive. Both players, in fact, I think, are aware of each other's position. It's just a matter of who swings first, but Addy will go for the diffuser now. SL Duck left all by himself on site. Danny's forced to rotate back. He does get the pings, but it's not enough. Storm King will take him out, and it's all up to Danny. He won't find any as Ginja finishes him off and the round.
Well, that was a very close round there. Good play by the attacking team to just apply a bit of pressure on their backside, and it's just gonna keep the mirror there a little bit longer. So it was a 2v1 position on the side there. I think that was really without rushing it. So that was good to see. I think it was a bit of a misplay with that Nitro throw previously, just helping the attackers a bit. But I mean, it could have been a bit of luck that maybe the Sledge happens to go for it as the Nitro gets thrown. So maybe it was just chasing a bit of luck there.
Yeah, definitely. I think that was just a bit of unfortunate Siege timing. It wasn't a terrible play. The C4 toss was good, for sure. It just happened that the defenders had backed off at that moment. And unfortunately, a little bit of a miscommunication there. Didn't realize the C4 was already underneath. But hey, these things happen in competitive Siege a lot of the time. It's all about whether you can get that communication going well, which sets, you know, the good teams apart from the great teams. But for now, Dugongs will be choosing to go to a different site. I think that's a good decision. They don't want to give UniSA too much practice on that top 4 site, and given the results of that previous round, which admittedly a little more in UniSA's favor than, you know, Dugongs would have liked, it's a good option. Rotate it up, switch it up, keep UniSA guessing and on their toes, and don't give too much for free to them.
Yeah, and I like seeing that they're gonna have a few roamers this time, but Jackal's definitely gonna make it much more difficult. So we're just gonna see how Dugong is gonna be able to capitalize on it. I feel like if they can get an early pick onto, especially the Jackal, it's gonna really help them out. So now we're just gonna see that the Sledge is trying to enter all the getting rid of defenders nearby. Push don't work. We can see improvement in the droning through the course of this game. Just making sure that the attackers are actually following their drones instead of the drones not really like taking space. Making sure the attackers are actually following the drone to take real space. But Danny here is on the roam. He is in a very good position to actually catch them off, so the attackers will need to be wary about that. And they're just going to have to take this slowly.
Yeah, the fact is that the drones haven't actually been upstairs at all. Definitely there will be some of those visual vibes, but I don't think they know exactly where the positioning is. It's a matter of timing now, whether Danny can find a cheeky pick here, perhaps through that floor and at least stop the hatch being open. But so far he's playing relatively passively, and in fact, it will be Ginja to find the first pick here, but as C4 goes back, takes out Forky. That's a the ace off the board, so no more hard breach at least.
Danny, the Vigils, had a very powerful position up there, but with 2 players down, he's going to have to rotate back to site or make a play. I don't think he's realized there's still someone on Kitchen Hatch, and he's going to look back, and unfortunately does not manage to get the pick. The Twitch shutting him down, and now it's a 2v4 position on site. And they're just gonna have to try and play this out with a few picks. And another one fall, and a quick succession with Ginja picking up the last kill. That was a very quick and actually very convincing attack by UwUniSA.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't really see much resistance from Dugongs, despite them having that roamer upstairs. It seemed he played a little too passively, expecting UniSA to push him, but rather they just opted just to ignore him. I don't even think they knew he was up there, in fact. So definitely the roamers there could have done a lot more, could have had a lot more impact, especially stopping that hatch being opened, and could have gotten a pick from above as well. And they were none the wiser he was there at all. And later on, when he went back for the fallback, maybe that's a time when you go for those picks, because you're 2-4 down. You need to get a pick to start even swinging the momentum back and evening things up. Definitely someone's going to still be in kitchen, right? They've opened the hatch, they're going to be playing it. Definitely a free pick, especially knowing that UniSA has no idea he was there. So yeah, a bit of misplays on the roam there, but at the same time, it's really well played from UniSA. The pressure they applied onto the site was very, very good, and it's no surprise that the defense there crumbled once UniSA really pushed it.
Exactly. And now Dugongs are actually going to change it up once again, heading back to cash, switching very often. I think just keeping it very difficult for the attackers to guess, but of course with the repicks available from the attacking team, it's not too hard for the attacking team to actually adapt to this. But I think it's still early days. I mean, it's only the initial few rounds, so I think Dugongs probably will start to shine as they warm up after a couple of rounds here. Now we're just going to see the nades coming through, getting rid of the bandit charges and the mute jammers, for the Twitch to move through. It will be good if there are any defenders there just to check and protect the bandit charges. Another grenade comes through, but that mute jammer is expertly placed there, preventing any damage from the frag grenade coming through. But Maverick is going to be able to open it up, and the mute jammer is promptly destroyed. And Twitch drone is coming back in to get rid of this. Very meticulously done. I think it's a bit of a lost opportunity there that the alibi wasn't prepared to get rid of that. And now it's easily opened, Thermite making a big wall onto Garage. Very, very easy. Within 1 minute, taking out the wall is what you want with no losses and very minimal utility used. So that's very good play.
Yeah, I mean, props to UniSA. The coordination there was excellent. They had everyone knowing what to do. Everyone was in position and they worked through that thing. Utility, next step, next step, next step. And they got the wall open. Very smooth. A couple of grenades used up, but there's still another 2 to work with, and certainly I don't think they're too concerned, especially with Finka still on board. Once again, a single solo back push will apply a bit of pressure here, stop that roam from coming in later. It's just a matter of whether Dugongs can stall any further, but hey, in sight already, the smoke won't actually hit, but Danny will get the swing, and at least that's the fuser down.
Yeah, but I think maybe they took it a little bit too fast there. Good job by the mute there, just covering. And a lot of picks coming out, taking out a lot of the attacking members. Maverick is now down with Finka, the only living person on board. And Maverick is finished off, so it's now a 1v4 position. The fuse is stuck in a terrible position to be picked up, so he's going to have to take this pretty slowly.
And now just looking for players, but it's in a tough situation. 4 players against the 1, and Diffuser is all the way deep on site. Unless Dugongs get really, really aggressive and really antsy and start swinging things for no reason, I really don't see how UniSA could win this out. In fact, he's out of bullets as well. Oh no, the barricade, that's BM. Oh no, he can't even get the kill. That's just rude.
Well, he's got the LMG, so he can just spray and pray. Hope for the best. Just run and get 1 kill. Unfortunately not. Danny pumps him with the shotgun.
Dugongs finally on the map now. 1 round, and a very convincing round. We've seen that momentum kind of switch back and forth. UniSA did a really good job on their attack on the basement, but now Wollongong definitely have woken up, and that was much better in terms of how that played out. I do want to give a shout out to Danny, of course. He made a lot of those big plays. He got the planter, got another one, and then of course getting that last pick. But, I hope that Dugongs don't rely too much on him. And by that, I mean that they don't rely on a single hero player to win them rounds, because a player is a player. They have a head. It takes one bullet to kill them, right? You can be the best player ever, but you can't look at two places at the same time. I say this all the time, right? So if he gets caught in a crossfire, there's nothing much he can do. He might take someone with him, but he's still gonna die. And so Dugongs need to be able to step up when that happens and not just rely on a single player doing all the work.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe the other members of Dugongs might not feel as confident to take those gunfights that they actually need to take. Instead, try to rely on Danny to actually clean it up for them. So yeah, it's definitely important that they pick up the weight a little bit, because Danny's sitting there on 4-2, taking the charge for Dugongs. But I think it's a good change of momentum here. And very interesting that they didn't go back to basement. I think that's tactically very interesting, because it sort of shifts how UwUniSA was actually planning this attack. I reckon they were expecting the basement hold, and instead it's going to be on the complete opposite side of where they expected.
Yeah, they've still got a lot of utility to work with, but notably a lack of that Maverick might make it a little bit harder to open up that wall. Having said that, you still can get an angle over from that gym bedroom, of course. Tuck does tag up Ginger, I think. Doesn't quite take him out, but a little bit of damage done, and that early aggression seems to have been staved off for now.
Yeah, and they just have to play this slowly. I am liking that they are having extended hold into cash there. Good pick there onto the Jackal very early. It's just going to make their lives just that much easier. It's just a bit unfortunate. Danny is getting pressured from the window. There's a Frostmat to protect him if they do want to send it. A great pick onto Ginja, finishing him off, already half HP. And now Danny is just pulling. His back must be sore, I reckon, but there's still a lot of options for the rest of the team to show us that they are equally capable. And now Thermite is going to make the drop with the sledge, but they haven't taken any map control, and this is going to be a very difficult position for them to attack from. Castle barricade's going to be broken open, making a lot of noise. Sledge prepares the grenade, is trying to flush out anyone, but there has not been any drone work happening, and he's just hoping for a lucky guess. Drone comes in, does spot 2 in bedroom still, and Finka is there to support with the push. But it's fairly one-sided because there's no one else coming from the jacuzzi wall or coming up the main stairs. So it's going to be a fairly one-dimensional attack, and I think Dugongs will be easily more than prepared to catch this.
Yeah, we mentioned whether jacuzzi wall will be a little bit difficult to remove, but Danny will not find Addy difficult at all. Just goes for the swing, and he's certainly been very aggressive, swinging that window earlier, very aggressively earlier, and getting that pick. Anubis will finally add 1 to his collection, but for now it will be, oh no, a Frostmat to end Finka of all things. Love to see it. I hate to. If I haven't said enough, I really dislike Finka and her LMG, so seeing her jump into a Frostmat is indeed very nice.
Honestly, how do they make the Frostmat trap sound? Like, it's just so satisfying to hear it when it does go off. Props to the sound designers.
Second round for University of Wollongong now. And yeah, much better success on this gym bedroom site than basement. It seems it was just a bit of a outlier, really. Dugongs has certainly, well, got back into the pace of things 2 rounds in a row against UniSA. So UniSA hoping for a 4-2 now round, sorry, 4-2 half now at its best, and you certainly need all the rounds you can get when you're attacking Clubhouse. But for Dugongs, yeah, you don't want to drop the ball here because you know that it will be a lot more difficult to get onto that attack. So 4-2. Yeah. 4-2 at least.
Hopefully, hopefully Dugongs will be more successful on the roam game. They're not going to play the Vigil this time. But I still hope to see maybe the Valkyrie will be on the roam. On the attacking team, Ginja's now taking the Jackal because previously I believe Golden had Jackal. It wasn't quite working out. He was getting picked too early and they were just losing the utility from him to clear potential roamers. So maybe in the hands of Ginja something different might happen, and we'll find out now on this matchup. The Rooney gate is coming out. It's just going to stop the attacking team just that little bit more. And if they can get a successful hatch hold and even playing someone up in office to play the vertical, it's going to be really, really, really good for the defense.
Attackers trying to figure out where they want to enter. Golden leading the charge here. Make their way into stock, and of course, with those hard breach charges, it will be able to open up that blue hatch. Blue and construct that secret tunnel, of course. Big point there. You do want to be holding onto it because you can deny both the church entry and the dirt tunnel entry as well, and it's a good point of rotation. So far, though, things relatively slow for both teams. Dugongs haven't really made an aggressive move here, whereas UniSA haven't gotten very far into the building. It seems Dugongs are just content at sitting on site here. They're not really going to go anywhere. No roamers, in fact, and they're just going to wait.
Yeah, I don't believe
UniSA to make a move.
Yeah, and I think that's just a really big missed opportunity. But they are making work for his money there. Another ace charge getting shot, I believe. And that's just not too great, but it's okay. He gets the next one on and has the hatch open now. So that's really good. And he will be able to contest that. Aruni, first pick coming out from Golden, taking her out. And that's just very unfortunate there, but probably Aruni already put down her electric gates. So it's all good. All the Valkyrie camps getting exposed by the Observer. As Danny gets tagged in half, he's getting pressure now from the garage side. And also from Church, so he's gonna have to be careful. All sides not protected. Golden Bliss taking down a second player. Huge entry here by the Buck. And let's see if he can get another pick. He's gonna quickly, slowly peek. Gets tagged slightly, but he's still alive. And all the picks coming out. Golden Bliss with another one. Huge plays by him, getting 3 kills. Marsh think the final one. And Golden Bliss, huge play by him, getting 4 kills. His ace narrowly taken away. Amazing entry by UwUniSA. Once again, methodic clearing of the hatches and just dropping it and pushing one by one in all different directions and just catching the defenders by surprise.
Yeah, it seems Dugongs just cannot make this basement site work. The first time they did it, UniSA ran over all the resistance on site. The second time, even more so. A flawless round, no damage, well, no players taken down on the side of UniSA. And both times they kind of attempted something, well, actually, now that you mention it, both times there was one common factor, and that was the lack of a roam game. UniSA were just confident to walk into the burst wall and just open up those hatches, no worries. First time, of course, Dugongs had Danny on the vigil, playing upstairs, but unfortunately didn't have any impact. Whereas the second time, they just gave it up completely. And it seems it's really impacting on Dugongs' defense of that basement site. They're giving away too much to UniSA, especially considering, as we've mentioned, some of the drone work from UniSA is a bit lackluster.
Yeah, definitely another missed opportunity, and I hope Dugongs do learn from that. But I believe it's now the final half, so they're just gonna have to, or final few rounds of their half. So, but Cash, they have won this and lost once, but I think they should be more confident now. Hopefully, we see the Alibi is holding the red stairs drone that much better because she'll be able to get stop any Twitch drones from coming through. Getting the feet holes there, as now the attackers are going to prepare another methodical attack, I'm sure, as we've seen from the previous rounds.
Okay, that's very interesting. Now that you can put multiple bandit charges on that wall, they've chosen to put, I think it seems like 4 of them, well, 3 of them. My question is where the last one went then. But yeah, I'm not sure if that's the best play there, considering they're still relatively exposed. Last one on con wall. Yeah, could have been used, maybe keep garage shot perhaps, and look, there you go.
Damn it.
1 for 4. Like, just not sure about the utility usage there, guys.
Maybe they still got some chipway batteries to use, I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Unfortunate, losing all the big vault ones. And that's free. The Twitch didn't even need to do anything. 1 fragnate, it's all gone. They're not too pretty. But that's right, Maverick is just going to have to make that work, even though if it does slow him down. Good entry there. Marsh thing getting taken out early from the wallbang. That's very unlucky. Two players just pushing him from the backside. Give the defenders so much more trouble. Johnny coming out. The mute jammer is quite powerful there, but it does get pinged out. Golden Bliss going to be making an entry, going for spraying all the sites. He wants his teammate to get rid of the mute jammer. Finally does, as he is going to make the push. Maverick is now on the opposite side. Going to be taking the other wall out. Nade coming out. Doesn't take out the... Maverick thought his job was done, but he has not taken out the mute jammer for Buck to open it. Instead, he goes for a very interesting play of running through with the finger charge, and it does not work out for him, unfortunately. Getting picked early, this could be what the defenders needed. Just this first pick to start things off. The wall is going to be prepared to get open. The smoke's coming out to stop them from pushing in. And the Buck finally gets that wall open as Anubis gets tagged very low, trying to contest with the people in the workshop area. And it's very important. 20 seconds left on the clock. It's coming down very close. The attackers are going to have to push very hard. Storm King, the sledge, gets taken down very low. Short nitro toss doesn't quite land where he wants it to. Instead, he gets pushed from the window, getting taken out. The refrag not happening from the refrag does happen from Syndrome, but the attackers just winning these gunfights. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Will they get the plant down? No, the diffuser's dropped in Africa. That was so close. Dugongs clutching it up.
Yeah, a bit of a messy attack there and a messy defense, but ultimately Dugongs come out on top of that. And, you know, I was looking at how that played out, and it was again the same thing as UniSA's previous attacks. They always go for that back push. They never contest Garage, and that was pretty much their undoing this time. Tuck Syndrome over in Rafters managed to get one pick. He did get taken out quickly after that, but the diffuser damage was already done. The diffuser was dropped down at the bottom of red stairs, and there weren't enough players to get it at the end. So yeah, shows the power of that garage position. They did try to challenge it. No, got the pick a little too late. But overall, yeah, messy on both sides is all I have to say.
Yeah,
and usually in situations like that, it ends up favoring the defense.
Yeah, I think the Maverick was maybe a little bit cocky jumping in through the window like that. Just a free pick for the defending team. And now we see here, UwUniSA is going to be starting off with the basement defense. I think they're going to be showing Dugongs how it's actually properly done. So we're just going to see here if Dugongs will be successful. A lot of changes coming out. They're probably expecting a cache site. The Thermite going off board in favor of the Zero. And of course Maverick for the Fuse, which he has seen previously. Golden Bliss on the Duck, hoping for a cheeky spawn peek. Falls off it, does not manage to find anything. That would have been very unfortunate. And we do see a very stacked spawn from Dugongs on the backside, the north side of the map. Golden Bliss checking the cams, not seeing anyone on the south side, so Spidey senses are tingling that something's not quite right. He's going to be rotating off, but the fuse has already pushed in pretty far, or he was on the roof. And Doc is actually going to be falling off really early. I would have liked to see him hold that roam a bit more. What do you think?
Yeah, 2.5 minutes and he's already gone back to site. I'm not sure about the Capcan though. The Capcan was with him. But yeah, oh, it's trade coming out. Ginja managing to take one, but Tuck will get that refrag, so that is some good work there. But yeah, I think all these roamers have fallen back fairly quickly, and well, okay, never mind. It doesn't matter where you hide, right? Tuck will just find you and kill you, right? Oh, no, he's still here. What's he doing here?
Capcan is left alone there. I think he was probably stuck. Probably still expecting attacker to be holding the hatch, but with so many people dead, the attackers can just pounce on site now. Addy, the Legion, does hear Goodmine getting triggered, and the Capcan finally, the final roamer, gets taken down. It's all him against the world, 1v4. Gonna have to play some action music. Goo gets shot as Syndrome goes for the send, swinging it out, taking out Addy very easily, despite getting gooed. Or not getting gooed, he didn't get gooed.
We'll tuck there with a multi, I believe, or how many? 3 or 4 at least. Definitely putting in some weight there. But yeah, if there's a theme throughout this map and basement, it is that these teams just do not like defending on basement. They have not had any success both times. And again, might come back down to the lack of the roam game. Both teams didn't really have a roam that was impactful or existent. We saw Golden falling off fairly early and then got kicked out on site. And Hawk, left by himself all the way up there in logistics, wasn't even able to get a pick. So yeah, it seems basement is just not it. And so wise move there, UniSA choosing to go for the gym bedroom, at least not the basement.
Yeah, and they're just gonna, I feel like both teams are trying to scare each other by picking sites that you wouldn't normally expect the standard like sequence to be picked, right? Because they're actually avoiding cash this time, and they're going to be opting for the gym bedroom site instead. The mirror does come up, and they are, with the mirror, they're going to be able to hold the other half of the map very strongly. So we're just going to see how Dugongs are going to play this out. Anuba's not sure what to pick and settles for the sledge. I would have liked to see the blitz come out actually. But yeah, there's no thermite, only the ace charges for hard breach. So that might be a bit of concern if they do lose the ace quite early.
Yeah, and that is a crucial thing on on Clubhouse. You do need that extra hard breach. We've mentioned the hard breach charges being very, very useful here, but here they've only opted to bring one. And there's a lot of walls to be opening here. The CC hold means they can fight back through that con window, and with a mirror in play, very, very difficult to push her out. Tuck in the meantime though will actually... Oh yeah, there he goes. He loses... Yeah, he loses the charge to Bandit, but at least Danny finds one for himself. Ginja taken off the ball.
Oh, very smart play there, going for the frag grenade underneath. It's going to be huge if he's able to get this pick, but unfortunately Mirror's tucked in the corner. Takes a bit of damage. He's going to opt for the table, the higher ground, for safe. By two players there, hopefully one of his teammates will be able to back him up, as the attackers are still struggling to get open the jacuzzi wall. Yeah, good early pick there, onto the mute of course. And they're still struggling. Tuck Syndrome going for another ace charge, going for both. I don't think the Bandit has quite enough time to get both. He's going to be very lucky, and no, he does not. Good pick there. Syndrome taking out the cheeky Bandit Tricker, who was just giving him so much trouble with that final ace charge. And now Mirror has been pushed back, struggling to get rid of the drone. He is pretty much stuck there with one person on the windows. Good pick there on the attack, taking them out, and Danny with a cheeky pokeball, getting the final pick.
Well, we may have criticized, you know, Wollongong's defense, but apparently UniSA, well, let's just say they're running into the same problems. That or Dugongs are just really good at attacking Clubhouse. I mean, UniSA did a pretty good job, especially on that basement floor, but Dugongs, same thing. 4v1 at the end on that basement side, and now flawless run. Yeah, and I was going to compliment UniSA on their defense. They managed to stall out the ace from opening that wall for half of the round. The Mirror had managed to, again, stall out a lot of that push coming in from CCTV and falling back to con and in stages. But no, apparently there's just not much you can do when Anubis and Tuck and Danny just kill you, right? What can you do? There's no utility that can protect you from being shot in the head. So, well done to Dugongs, 5-3 up now.
Yeah, and they're just going to have to change something up. Finally going to go back to the CCTV cache, which you would normally expect to be played in the first round. Tuck Syndrome going to be pulling out the Thermite, probably sticking with it. And they are bringing out the classic Monty, which they have brought out in previous rounds. Where they're probably going to show UwUniSA that taking Garage Rafters is pretty important for this map. And Monty is just going to really help with that.
Yeah, if UniSA fail to defend this site, then it will be a complete rotation for them, and a complete rotation that Dugongs have won, and that, of course, spells trouble for them. The fact that Dugongs are just so strong, no matter what site it seems, that's certainly a worrying sign.
Do you think Jaeger will be able to get this cheeky spawn P kill? It's very dangerous there.
I think they're smart enough not to go for it. Yeah, I think Dugongs are playing relatively safe. They are playing behind this Monty and using it for the intel. And as long as they don't peek out overly aggressive, although Sly Duck is very, very close.
Golden Bliss gets taken out. And the Monty just playing so aggressively. Choo-choo training up onto the rafters there. But he is pretty hard. And good support there from the bottom. But unfortunately, Syndra gets taken out. 2 kills coming out by the defense team, which is pretty huge. Now Monty, Danny is pretty stuck. He's going to require his teammates. Ace jumps in from the hole he made. Tries to go for the pick, gets the refrag, but Monty falls in the process. SL Duck is going to push up to rafters now. Doesn't manage to get the person hugging the ground. Anubis is just going to send it right in. Opening pick from him onto Storm King. It's a 1v2 situation. It is still very winnable. But the defuse is not in his hand. Completely lost in Garage. Gets a close pick. Taking out another one. And it's a 1v1 situation. He does have the health advantage, but no diffuser with him. So it's just going to be very difficult. Takes out the intel, but he does know there's one on rafters. Grenade comes out, and this could be huge if he lands it. Gets a grenade, falls long, but doesn't matter. He gets the final pick. That was beautiful play there by the Maverick. Huge clutches coming out from him.
Yeah, nicely done there. A good attempt there by UniSA at holding that rafters. They had the player at 90. They had, I believe it was Ginja, flanking from minibar, and it almost worked out really well. They managed to take the Monty, the biggest, the intel gatherer. They took another player with them, and they took the hard breach down as well at the end. But unfortunately, well, it just wasn't good enough for Anubis, and he does manage to find another 2 kills after that from a 2v1, I believe, and making it match point now, 6-3.
Yeah, this is huge for Dugongs. They're definitely showing us that Dugongs are the better clubhouse players compared to UNSA, and coming into match point now, they definitely need to clutch up, and they need this defense to work. I feel like maybe the Jaeger probably should have fought off that roam a bit sooner. He was pretty grasping at straws there, I reckon, trying to get a really cheap kill. But of course, you need to get any advantage you can when you're on the back foot here.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, the timing wasn't yeah, you're right. I think he did stick around a little bit too long. Although, having said that, we did see SL Duck just around the corner. It could have ended very badly had he chosen to try to walk through those garage walls. But it's not all bad. He did manage to work with the player in rafters, take out one player who was behind the Monty. So overall, it still worked, but I think the retrades just came out in favor of Dugongs, and that, I think, speaks very well of their ability to play off each other and get the intel and then get the picks.
Oh, Maverick gets tickled trying to go for that wall, and instead he takes out Addy. That's a huge early pick, but the smoke is going to come out trying to force the Maverick off. But losing the Bandit so early when he hasn't put down his charges to trick, it's just going to hurt them. SL Duck actually going for the Capital. I think that's a really strong play, especially against enemy Jaeger will buy to counter the arrows. So they are going to be able to flush out the rafters if there are anyone playing there. Cheeky nade coming down from the finger, but he's going to be pushed from behind. I don't think Danny knows that there's one right there, and that's a free pick for Ginja. Beautiful roam play there, and that's really aggressive. But Syndrome is going to be getting the plant down. I don't know what's happening with the cover there. Syndrome going off the diffuse to try and take him out. Gets rid of one. And now it's a 2v2 situation. He's going to go back on the plant, but it's just so close. He's going to be pushing up Ginja, coming out with the Black Eyes. SL Duck gets the kill onto Borky. It's all up to Ginja now in a 1v2 situation. The plant's still not down there. Really good cover by SL Duck. Fire Dart is going to come out, and now Syndrome surely can get the plant off safely. And Ginja gets tag solo, running through the fire like a madman. Plant's going to come down, the ping comes out for the plant. And he's instead going to go for an aggressive play. Doesn't actually find Thermite's head. Doesn't quite swing far enough, and good counter there by Capital.
Well, that was a round and a half. A bit messy, but came down to a 1v2, and that was pretty crazy, I gotta admit. Ginja definitely giving it his all and going for that aggression. He actually pushed through the Capital Flames. I thought, okay, this is just a safe bet, right? The Thermite can plant, no worries, and we can move on. But no, he actually went all the way. He pushed up very, very close, and he held his fire until the very last second. Had he, pre-fired the other corner, he may have actually won that, which is insane considering Capital pretty much had no idea he was there. Neither of them had any idea he was there. So just a bit unlucky there, but overall, well played there from Ginja, well played there from UniSA. Definitely a really, a relatively solid attacking half. 3-3 isn't bad on Clubhouse, but just not in the realm of University of Wollongong. 4 rounds in a row on attack, not even breaking a sweat.
Yeah, wonderful play there by Dugongs. But I mean, credits to Ginja. I think he did have a valiant effort to try and clutch it up, given the circumstances, because capped out firebolts, they're not nice to run through. And he does brave the fire on a slither of HP. And as you said, it could have gone either way. Like Siege, like just these little things. If Capta had chosen to be on the side of rafters that Ginja peeked at, he could have easily got both kills in quick succession. But instead, Ginja did not find did not look at the right side. And sometimes in Siege, with the clutches, that's just how it is.
Yeah, sometimes it do be like that. And yeah, this of course does not bode well for UniSA. After all, this was their map pick. And we mentioned earlier that Dugongs are actually quite strong on it. So now they're going to have to go to Chalet, sorry, not Chalet, Oregon, which is, of course, Wollongong's map pick. And things might not look the same. Well, one thing is for sure, though, something that looks really, really good is Predator Gaming PCs. Conquer new worlds with Predator Gaming today. Predator are the gaming PC partner of the AEL. Conquer new worlds with Predator's Gaming. Predator puts power and precision in your hands. Elevate your gaming experience in every way with quality and performance, thanks to Predator. So, of course, thank you to them for sponsoring, and we will see you shortly, so stick around.
Bye-bye.
I just can't let you go. Lord knows that I've tried to. You said I was the only one. No one likes being lied to. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I wanna burn all the bridges between us. I've been stuck on your memory, but it's not like I need it. And we may have some history, but we don't have to repeat it. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I'm gonna burn all the bridges between us.
Hi, I'm Hanzi and I'm a cosplayer and streamer, and today we're checking out the Nitro 5 by AESA. This is honestly one of the smoothest gameplay experiences that I've had, especially on a laptop. The graphics are amazing, it's not laggy, it's very lightweight. The keyboard feels really nice to play with, and I love the RGB lights. Look how pretty they are. We love a rainbow. Yes! 4-star! 4-star character! If you're looking for a gaming laptop on the go, be sure to check out Ace's range.
Hello and welcome back to the AEL University League R6 Season 1 for 2022. We've just had a great first map between University of Wollongong Dugongs and UniSA. UwUniSA. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name again. But yeah, a bit of an upset here as UniSA on their own map on Clubhouse fall 3-7 to Dugongs. And I say upset, but are we really upset? Because it was, after all, our prediction.
Well, of course, we should be happy that we did pick the right, the right winner. But yeah, Dugong, I think it was very convincing on the attacking phase. A little bit could have gone either way on the defense, of course, and they just needed to perform the attack, and that's exactly what they did. UNSA is definitely going to be reeling from that one, considering Clubhouse was their pick. So we're just going to see how they fare on Oregon. Maybe they're also good on Oregon, and both teams are just going to be happy to play it out as is, and let's just hope that UNSA...
Oh, bit of lag going on. I wasn't sure if we still had comm at that point because the VMix was lagging, but... Oh, okay, yes, he's back. Yes, well, whatever insightful thoughts you had just then. I'm sorry, we missed it because the internet decided it shall be so. But, well, it will be what it will be. Maybe you can bring it back up at some other point in this matchup. But Oregon now, another classic map, usually called Boregon by a lot of players and talent because we see it all the time. But I am so happy. I'm so happy right now. Makes up for the fact that it is Oregon because we're seeing a Finker ban.
But come on, Finker has the great LMG that you can just left mouse 1 on. I think that's
Yes.
a perfectly fine operator.
Yes.
And the
Remember
mirror.
when- Yeah, keep going, yeah. I'm just happy the Finker is gone. But yeah, Mirror again.
Yeah, the mirror band
you know,
comes out. No, sorry, Lance, you go. It's all good.
stock standard bans apart from that Finker ban. We have a Thatcher, Mirror, Kaid. Usual combination of those are being removed off the board. Again, once you take the Thatcher off the board, Kaid becomes a lot more difficult to deal with. Having said that, Dugongs do have a really good Maverick player, so I wouldn't be too worried if I were them. But, you want to make sure you don't have any nasty surprises, no claws tucked away anywhere weird, so they will take that off the board. And yeah, I want to see whether this Finker ban will really impact how UniSA performs on the attack, given that they relied on it heavily to be a solo roam clear and apply a lot of pressure. So now that that's gone, yeah, again, will UniSA be able to have the same performance on their attack? Of course, though, it is Dugongs starting out. For those who missed the first map, Dugongs won 4 rounds in a row attacking Clubhouse, so they're pretty good at. They've got this attacking thing pretty, set up.
Well,
We did
maybe
see a couple of mistakes. Yeah, a couple of mistakes here or there. So Oregon, do you think it'll play out the same way?
Well, it's definitely a different map here. I feel like it's completely different compared to Clubhouse. But I mean, we don't know. Maybe UNSA have actually been practicing on Oregon, and this is actually their backup map. So it's too early to actually tell what can happen, and especially on the defense. I feel like they can help build a bit of morale and a bit of confidence. Ginja is gonna go for an early spawn peek, but does not find anyone. He is holding in a fairly aggressive position, and he's probably gonna get out. The drone does come out to catch him. Gets tagged up as he's tried to push back. Goes for an early pick. He's gonna opt to run to safety. Just being a nuisance as a roamer, which is what I like to see.
Yeah, he will be challenging Danny and SL Duck here, who have done a pretty good job of pushing him out. Having said that, Ginja done a fairly good job of stalling. Oh, and that's even better, taking out Danny, one of the star players here. Stormking coming to back him up as well. This is a pretty good start for UniSA on their defense here.
Yeah, and while the other parts of the attack also fairly stalled out, but it's alright. The Thermite has now managed to enter into the building, and he's gonna try to get that closet wall open. But Jaeger's still playing on the other half of the map, so I think they've just given up on trying to roam clear completely. Trades coming out from all sides. Golden Bliss taking out Marshting right at the end. And this is just 2 players up for the attacking team left. Thermite now off the board with only the Ace to provide some support. The Aruni probably a little bit aggressive there because the Aruni gate turns off, which gives the attacker that was holding that position just a few more seconds, a few extra milliseconds to react. Does manage to down Borky. A second one tries to peek to make something work, and he gets tagged very low. And this is trying to kind of throw it back onto the side of Dugongs.
Wow, okay. I'm not quite sure what happened there at the end. I mean, Ginja definitely had a huge impact at the start of the round in that small tower. He managed to take out Danny, the star player, as we mentioned, and then he managed to find a second as well. And I was going to say, Dugongs have just given up on flushing him out completely. But then, again, the start of the downfall, Golden going for that, as you mentioned, unnecessary peek. There was just no reason he needed to do that at all, right? Gave a free pick away, and then, of course, against the LMG and, of course, Tuck and Anubis, sorry, not Anubis, Tuck, it's just a little bit difficult to win. And so yeah, Tuck managed to push through that attic, got some good crossfires with that Sophia, and yeah, that was it. Even Ginja couldn't stop them despite that valiant effort at the start. UniSA will fall and Dugongs take that first round.
10 seconds left before insertion.
I believe it was what SL Duck and Tuck. It was a 2 versus 4, I believe. 2 versus 3 at least. 3 or 4, something like that. But yeah, either way, very well played and a bit of a misplay, I suppose, coming out from UniSA, given that they did have the stronger position there. A little over aggressive. Perhaps they can rein it in this time. Have we lost Commandante? Mayhaps we have. Oh, this is rather awkward. Well, I guess it's just me now. Yeah, well, we'll wait until he gets back. But for now, yeah, UniSA, sorry, Dugongs making good progress. They've got this big tower and they're starting to go for this wall, which is a good first start. Ginja, however, will look to flank once again. I'm not sure if the drone work is in place here. There's a claymore, but no information. And in fact, they have no idea Ginja is there. Danny will find one, but Marsh saying the thermite will get taken down. And yeah, that's not too bad. Having said that, a rook for a thermite, definitely a trade well worth it. Ginja could probably have done a little bit more damage there. Like, given the state of aggression and how that played out last time, I think he just didn't want to get too cocky and swing that too much. So he will fall back to site now, back on the yellow stairs, can hold this cross into trophy, and also, you know, anybody pushing out of attic. Meanwhile, attack seems to have mostly slowed down. They've got that attic wall open, but not much else after that. Just looking for picks now, and Ginja and Danny will start this first gunfight.
Yeah, well, hopefully I am back, Lance. Sorry to leave you hanging there. As Golden gets another pick onto Anubis, taking out the Maverick player. And that's all their hard breach gone, but they do have the ace up, so that's good preparedness, I guess. Danny gets a pick onto Ginja, who tries to peek him, but I feel like the Runegate is just not playing into the defender's favors, who they keep wanting to swing, and the Runegate just sort of exposing their intentions. Borky now on slit of HP, gonna try and keep them back, but 2 attackers are trying to push in. Good pick there by Borky, taking out another. SL Duck can't decide if he wants to be in or outside of the attic. Finally decides to go in, takes out Borky. And now he knows where one more defender is, and he might go for the swing there. Good cover there by Golden Bliss. Addy gets taken down by half now, and they just need to play this sort of slowly.
20 seconds remaining on the clock. SL Duck has a diffuser. Both players, their locations are known. The Good Mine will temporarily slow them down, but with that Yin Grenade, Candela will actually stop him from pushing out, and that's a really good play there. Danny not getting too aggressive, just stalling time. He knows exactly where these players are, and he's just stopping them from moving. And with that, once the diffuser's down, Danny does go for that aggression, managed to get 1 and then 2, make it another round for Wollongong. Was it another 2v3, 2v2, I believe? Yeah, once again, Dugong seems to be fighting back from those early losses into a win. UniSA, I believe, both of those rounds got the first pick, but it was quickly traded back by Dugongs, and then they kind of kept building on that advantage. Again, I'm hoping that this isn't a theme that we see recurring, that UniSA get that first pick and then fail to convert, either by being a little too aggressive or not holding on to the key positions they need. But again, if that does continue, then Dugongs showing that they are really, really good at attacking. They've won, that's 6 rounds in a row, if you include last map, on attack. And UniSA, despite coming very, very close, just haven't been able to quite close it out.
Yeah, that's right, Lance. The Dugong train does not stop just yet. And now UwUniSA is actually going to opt for the basement hold. Good to change up the side after losing really unfortunately twice already. They need to make this work on the defense. I think one point to consider is that maybe the Rooney gate is not quite working out as they intended, because every time they try to swing for it, the Rooney gate comes down as they swing, so it just gives the attackers just a little few extra seconds, or a few extra milliseconds to actually react to them swinging. And they're actually going to bring out a blitz this time, and they have 3 people stacked up at the backside there, so they might go for a send. It's just going to be pretty dangerous. 5 people actually grouped up here in basement. And the first person standing it through, Danny taken to half health, taken down so early, does manage to create a lot of confusion for his teammates to pinch in. This is just going absolutely haywire. All the kills coming out. It's a 2v2 now, with Borky taking heavy losses. Marshling coming down from the backside of tower stairs, gonna assist his teammate, gets the crucial pick, and now it's a 2v1 situation with still 2 minutes on the clock. They could easily join this out. They have so much time.
Yeah, this is a change of pace for sure. We saw some really protracted, drawn-out rounds, but now Dugongs are just switching it up. They're going, well, let's just rush in, and for the most part, it's worked out fairly well. Trades back and forth, but Dugongs end up on top of that, and Borky on such low health definitely could easily be put down. And I do like the shift now. Dugongs scaling it back, trying to get that info before pushing in, knowing that, well, we've got the man advantage. We can play for those retrades if we need to. Especially with that lion drone locking him down, it's just going to be so difficult for Borky to win this. If he does, then hats off to him.
Oh.
I jinxed it, didn't I?
Good aggressive there by SL Dark, just pushing up. I sort of half expected Dugongs to...
You expected them to do what? Come. We're waiting. Hanging with bated breath. Well, I called them...
Sorry. Expected them to get the defuse down under the cover of the lion drone, as you mentioned. But instead going for the aggressive play, getting the guaranteed kill instead of waiting it out with the defuse down and playing post-planned.
Attackers need to locate.
Yeah, I actually think that was the right move there, given there was only one person to cover and there was still a lot of angles they had to worry about. If you're going for a plant on that B site in that supply area, you have to worry about the corridor and you have to worry about the rotate from laundry. And being only one more player, you can only watch one of them. So I feel they made the right choice. They pressed the advantage they had, that is they had an extra player, and then they had a fairly good idea of where that last player was, and they pinched in on him, and yeah, it worked out beautifully. Dugongs 3 rounds up against UniSA 0.
10 seconds to insertion.
If we see another loss from UniSA here, I'm almost ready to call it for Dugongs.
No, you can't say that, Lance.
Yeah, no, I can't.
Anything goes in siege. But I like that Dugongs are keeping the pressure here, because if they continue with these fast-paced attacks...
I assumed he meant fast-paced attacks. But yes, yeah, as we mentioned earlier, change of pace, yeah. Yep. Oh, I'm not sure if the audience can actually hear Colin. I hope they can, because I certainly can't.
Hello?
VMix, just, yes. Okay, it appears you have returned, but yes. Yes, change of pace. It was a very good switcheroo, throwing UniSA off their game, and now they're going for the other way. They're doing a very methodical push, and they're getting all the intel they need for executing. UniSA just have failed to adapt, I think, to the way that Dugongs are playing, and that is, all the different styles and all the different methods all rolled into one.
Yeah, and I thought they were the champions of Clubhouse, but Oregon might be their second champion as well. Flash is coming out from Marshalling, trying to flush out behind pillars, but instead good cover there by Golden Bliss with that classic angle up there, really preventing a lot of proper tower pushes. Danny getting the pick, but is tagged very slow. Syndrome to back him up with the diffuser, and now both defenders are there alerted, hoping to push up. I'm not sure if Jaeger knows that one has pushed up so far aggressively. He gets taken out by Tuck with the swing. Genja takes out Danny, and it's a 3v3 situation. Still half the time left, so there's lots of time remaining. Anubis caught behind with the castle barricade, hoping to join his friends soon enough. Instead, he's gonna run through. The shorty coming out. I don't know how you can get kills with that gun. All the trades coming out, and so just a 1v3 now. Once again, for Dugongs.
Yeah, and UniSA is starting out strong. They did manage to get that early pick and then slow down that freezer push with the smoke, but unfortunately, the push from Laundry came in perfectly at Anubis with the pocket shoddy. Wouldn't expect to see that. And then Tuck, of course, with another, and then finally clearing out that last player who, by now, realized he was completely isolated from the rest of, well, his dead teammates. So, again, very well done from Dugongs. The change of pace we saw at the start, right? They were pushing Big Tower. They had, I believe, I can't remember who it was, but Golden managed to take him out early at the start. Marsh thing, that's right. They were going for that Big Tower take. They realized it wasn't going to work. They saw the weakness in Freezer. They saw the weakness, especially in Laundry, and they hit it hard, right? They hit the Laundry, and UniSA were completely unprepared for it. Anubis one, and then Tuck another, and then suddenly the site was busted wide open. Nothing UniSA could do, and poor Hawkeye. Once again, I feel like we always see him as the last player alive. Poor Hawkeye, 1v4 situation again, and it's like, hey, where did everyone go?
Left alone and naked, that's out to hang. But yeah, Dugongs now 4-0, so even just going 4-2 on Oregon on the attack, I think it's very respectable. And with 2 rounds left to play, they definitely still got a lot to show still. UNSA definitely need to bring this back. They just need one win on the board.
Yeah, four rounds is more than respectable. It's great. I mean, if they get to 5, get to 6, then I really don't know how UniSA are gonna come back from this, because Oregon, again, one of those structure-heavy maps usually favors the defenders. If Dugongs can do so well on the attack, where things are usually more difficult, what will their defense look like? That's my worry for UniSA, who then have to face that on the attack. It's a scary thought. Ginger, though, once again on this flank, hasn't been droned out. We saw the Murray walk right past him. If he gets his timing right, he could get a lot of freebies.
Oh.
No! Anubis does trade out. Do lose the ace, but thankfully Marshall's still alive. And with that, well, 4-4 in terms of player count.
I'm really interested in Anubis pulling out the Amaru here. I'm pretty excited for, I think, a well-timed push by Anubis in coordination with his teammates. It's going to be huge. SL Dark playing the vertical there, trying to get rid of the bandit charges on that wall so that the thermite can get it open. Anubis just applying some pressure there on the kitchen hatch, and SL Duck in the meantime gets tagged down very low. But Addy on the bandit also gets taken out by Anubis on the roam there. He's gonna actually potentially come up the attic hatch, which is gonna be a huge play. He does right into the smoke. Probably not the best play there. Taken out easily by the smoke. The trap just waiting for him.
Well, he certainly had his impact, but it was not to be anymore. Taken out by Storm King, who was just lying in wait. Danny, though, manages to take out Hawkeye, who didn't know what hit him, and now it's up to the Smoke and Golden to strike back. Certainly they've had their moments here, but this is not looking good. SL Duck, although low, is still alive, and with that Claymore, it's going to be very difficult for Golden to get back up the stairs. Goes for a swing, though. He will make it. Can't make it quite up the stairs. Will be forced on the rotate, and with Danny taking out Storm King now, Golden has a long way to go before getting back to the site and making it home. And yeah, the classic, the gate comes in play. Golden will fall. Danny with another to add to his collection. And another round for UOW's collection here, 5-0. Attacking Oregon. Wow.
Wow, Dugongs is looking so convincing once again. And highlight of the match was, of course, the Aruni play. Maybe a better coordination from their teammates. It could have worked out to surprise the Smoke, but it was definitely funny to watch.
Yeah, I'll give him credit for that. It was bold. It was a bold move, and hats off to you for trying it. He did get 2 picks, so it wasn't all for naught, and obviously clearing out those roamers at the start helped a lot, made sure they couldn't contest with C4s and whatnot. So, hey, the play didn't work, but at least he still put down a lot of impact in terms of just getting those picks. Meanwhile, on the side of UniSA, just not quite able to find those kills. Again, early picks come out from UniSA. They get the opening picks pretty much every round, but they're just not able to convert. And I think it, again, shows Dugongs very well playing for those retrades, whereas UniSA perhaps a little bit disconnected and not able to support each other.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, like, I think Ginja just needs the support on the roam because he's trying to get these solo picks a lot of the time. If we see, I think initially they were playing pretty well off each other with the roam game, contesting into kitchen dining area, but we're not really seeing that anymore. So I think this is one thing they need to try and fix, especially for people on the site. Few roamers, Ginja's probably going to go out on the roam instead. And Borky there left alone. They need someone with him because he can easily get droned out and picked off. And I think that's the main thing that UNSA needs to try and fix in this final round of defense. They definitely need to win this or else it's match point.
Yeah, and I think that's a theme we've seen with UniSA a couple of times as well. I do believe, since we have seen them before, and I do recall that being an issue with them in their previous matches. And again, it shows, I guess, the nature of Siege. The retrades need to be there. You can get killed so fast. You need to have someone to back you up. Because, again, as great a player as you are, you can't look at one place more than once. But now, though, so far, UniSA doing okay on this defense. I'll give them that. They haven't taken any losses, haven't got any picks yet, but maybe that's a good sign for them. Danny does take a bit of damage, but Freezer, once again, a Freezer take, so same thing from Dugongs.
Oh, and Tuck gets the pick onto Borky, who I believe was still roaming. And they're just kind of stuck from all these sides because they have control of the entire top floor. They can push from the 3 different directions: Freezer, main stairs, tower stairs, you name it, they got it. And Syndrome, the Tuck Syndrome, getting the easy pick onto Addy through that slip was really good. Trades coming out, but it's not over yet for UNSW holding on. Storm King with the critical picks. Gets another person taken out by Golden Bliss. This is huge. This is what they need. UNSA 1v3 position. They just need to play this safe. Tuck on a slither of HP. Only less than 25 with a minute to go. They just need to play this slowly.
Yeah, now is the time not to be peeking. They've done their shooting. They just need to fall back and wait. I mean, they also have the Echo Drone to back them up, to deny the plant, and also to give them intel. So, again, there really is no rush. We've seen UniSA drop the ball a bit on this sometimes. They get a little bit antsy, a little bit aggressive, but surely this time, with the score line the way it is, that lesson has been learned, right? They've learned their lesson. They're not going to rush it. What will rush?
Oh, no.
Oh my goodness.
Tuck with the huge frame play, trying to bait them with the lock happening instead of rotating onto the opposite hatch. Pretty huge there, bait and switch, but Storm King clutching it out. This is what they needed. This could be the potential comeback that UNSA was hoping for.
And finally, that info does come in handy. Obviously, it would have been an Echo Drone that gave away that information, but oh so very close. Tuck on a slither of health, 1 HP in a dream, almost made it work. 1v3, he dropped the hatch and just dropped 2 players like that. They had no idea he was there. He just wiped them off the field. And it was a 1v1, just like that. And UniSA, man, if they had lost that, I don't know how they'd come back from that, right? Just the morale break of losing a 1v3 to that, your player just dropping T-box and just killing everyone. Like, I'm not sure there could have been much they would have done. But for now, at least, they survived getting to match point now. 5-1, not a great scoreline, but it's better than 6-0. Dugongs, though, now start on the defense. They've got all the time in the world, well, 4 rounds of time at least, and on their map, they're going to be pretty confident on how to play things.
I'm loving the Oryx here, Lance, coming out from Anubis. He is a bit of a vertical player there, as we see with the Amaru as well, and now with the Oryx about to pop up through the hatches. If he does have a strong roam game, this could spell trouble for UNSA. Because just getting an early pick or something could be huge, and maybe just enough for them to clinch the round. And now he's just going to be roaming upstairs. I hope he does get some support, and because that's just going to be really important on these types of maps. He's going to be barricading off everything, going to be holding up an attic, which is very interesting. and he is going to be a nuisance. But of course, just like previous rounds, if the attackers don't bother with roam clearing and they just send it onto site, the roams is completely useless.
Yeah, and I think I see what this Oryx is doing. He's going to be playing up in the attic to contest this E-box hatch. And Danny, of course, will be supporting from there as well. So this is quite an interesting hold. It's going to be a attic and meeting hold. And I wonder if UniSA have read into this, or they're even aware that anyone's upstairs. Certainly they know that it's reinforced, so there's some point in being up there, most likely a player. But how much utility and how much time will they dedicate to removing that?
Yeah, it might be an empty threat lance, because if they think, we can send it onto site because there's 2 roamers, but good opening pick there by Golden and a second one by Ginja. Taking out both of the roamers, that's huge either way. I was gonna recommend they just send it onto site in a 3v5 situation. But confirming it and making it a 5v3 situation is even better, of course. So now it's all up to the defenders to try and play this, maybe get some crucial picks, but the attack, they just need to slow down. They have half the round remaining, 1 minute 20 seconds, there's plenty of time to drone it out, and can easily win this round.
Yeah, it just seems a bit of an unfortunate setup there for Dugongs. Just didn't work out then. That's okay, they've got the rounds to kind of spare and work with this, and I'm sure they're going to pick it up moving on. But for now, this attack is actually looking pretty good for UniSA. They've made pretty good time. They've still got a minute left to go. And with the E-box hatch already open for them, that's another point of entry they've got in the back pocket. Yeah. Yep, not a bad position to be in, but if they don't, they still got to watch their time, because of course that is the 6th player for Dugongs.
Yeah, but we see they are finally.
Yes, perhaps funneling through this laundry area. Tuck, however, will take out Ginja, and with that, it's a 3v3. What was a crushing man advantage suddenly is not so crushing anymore. Storm King, however, will finally finish off Tuck. It's 2v3 now, but it's not unwinnable. Going for the plant now, Storm King jumps into the closet, goes for the swing. SL Duck will catch him off guard. And now going for the counter. Oh, go to counter. He looks the wrong way. Oh no, and with that, UniSA find the first round of this half.
That was a really close clutch there by the Valkyrie. Like, if she just picked maybe just half a second earlier and pushed out a little bit more and picked right first, that definitely could have gone either way. He could have easily stopped the plant. But just like the previous one on Clubhouse Garage, these things just happen. And it just swung in favor of UwUniSA. And this is good to see that they're getting these small wins back. And this is what they need to pull back the scoreline. 5-2, of course, they have a lot of work
protect your bombs from being defused by
to do
attackers.
for them.
Yeah, and if anything, they have, well, the title of being the first to get a plant down on this map. As much as Dugongs are good at attacking, they haven't been able to get the diffuser down. That said, that's mainly because they've killed everyone before they've ever needed to open their lunchbox. So UniSA have done a pretty good job, at least, of being in a position to be able to get the plant down, which isn't always an easy thing to do, especially on Oregon. So well done there for UniSA for winning another round, but as you mentioned, still a lot of work cut out for them here. 3 rounds versus, Dugongs just need 2 to close it out.
Yeah, and it's just more breathing space, just getting those rounds one by one. And I think morale is definitely high for UwUniSA. They have nothing to lose on this final map against Dugongs, so might as well do your best and win. So that's what I like to see. They definitely need to take these fairly slowly, and that's what they have been doing on the previous attacking round. It's a good opening round for them that they did win it. Good parkour skills there by Sophia, showing us how it's done. And the IQ is just going to be scanning for anything. UJam is being found everywhere, goo mines, everything. And the Twitch drone is making short work of the mute jammers and any of the defender utility.
Yeah, this is some pretty good utility clearance there. They've got rid of at least the wall denial, so they can start working on that. And Hawkeye will be the one to do this. He is on the ace, so opening up this attic wall. Usually we don't see too many teams pushing Attic now. It is a bit of a death trap, that long corridor, and you've got that power position at the end. So usually it's a big window master bedroom take, but you know, we've seen Dugongs do it, and now we see UniSA as well.
Yeah.
So far though, neither... Oh, okay, I was just going to say, nobody's got a pick yet, but Golden, right as I say that, take that Marsh thing.
Yeah, good early pick. Oh, double Claymore there. Gotta just make sure. But if someone does run in through there, Claymore could potentially kill Golden. He's pretty close to that. He's gonna have to be careful. But he is rocking the big 150 mag LMG, which is what I like to see. LMG wins games, in my opinion, as people start to push in from Attic, which is probably a poor choice. Good push there by Golden Bliss. He's very aggressive, catching out the person in Attic, which is a good refrag there. 3v4 could still go either way, of course, but now Attic is pretty free for his teammate to push in front. Ginja also applying pressure on a slither of health, takes out Anubis, and the trade's coming in from all sides. It's a 1v2 situation. Ginja's basically got no HP left, and Danny for some reason has run up, but he has the diffuser lands. This is a critical situation that they have found themselves in, because they have to go for this difficult retake of the lunchbox.
Yeah, you don't usually see this position here. Usually you see it at the start of the game, but now all the information has been given away. Oh, no. No, it's 1v1, and Ginja is on low health. Danny can now just fall back. He knows there's seconds left, and he's just waiting for that information. Oh. No! No way he did that. No, okay. I lost count, but I distinctly remember that UniSA were winning. They were in like a 1v... Okay, they were in a 1v2 at the end, or a 2v4 before that. And somehow UniSA dropped the ball, and Dugongs gone to match point.
As you said, Lance, that Attic push is not highly recommended these days. And we see here the critical mistake, dropping the lunchbox, keeping it with one of the attackers on the Attic side. Because if they actually had the diffuser with them on the opposite side of the map, this could have easily gone the other way.
Yeah, at that point, I saw Danny walking up. I was like, there's no way that he's winning. He's just climbing up there to get a pseudo-tactical timeout. He's going to bait it out. But then I saw the diffuser and I realized things were actually not looking great in UniSA. Especially that position from the Attic up there. He sees the feet of the player pushing Attic before that player sees him. And then having to get into those windows, there isn't a direct line of sight onto that position. And then again, going for the feet of that IQ on so low health already. Yeah, just unfortunate. UniSA, they did a good job. I'm going to give them that. It was a valiant attempt, but the cards just fall the wrong way. Dugongs 6-2 up now, and UniSA cannot afford any more mistakes.
Yeah, it's crunch time, Lance, as you said, but they did win previously on the basement side, and I felt like it was a pretty convincing and coordinated attack from them. So they just really need to try and replicate what they were doing. And they're pretty greedy here. The attack, 2 players already into basement here. Oh, not quite into basement, my apologies. But they're getting ready to push it, and they're just going to wait for the AOK from their other teammates to try and apply some pressure. Drumwork coming out just to check Malusi, gadgets, everything that they need to check for. But just these sort of little things, they're not quite following the drone. It's a sort of waste of utility, I would say.
Yeah, here I think they're just looking for the position of this player, forcing him back as well with that Flores drone, which is definitely really useful, but no more Flores drones anymore. Danny falling back, managed to get one on the way out. A bit of a fadeaway there. Will open up E-Box hatch. Anubis playing very, he almost gets taken out, but Danny for a second, he finds 2. Can he make it 3? Oh my goodness. If he continues like that, then yeah, there's just no way UniSA can win this.
Golden tries to bring this back, gets one pick, but is down in the process. No withstand to save him at all. SL Duck takes him out. Storm King is in a bit of a panic, trying to get a pick back, but in the end, Dugongs wins very convincingly in this Oregon map.
That round was over before it really started. UniSA barely set foot in the map. They got 1 player into that bunker and 1 player upstairs, and you know, everyone else was dead. Right? They just wiped off the map. Danny with the how many? 14. Tuck with 11 and 10 as well. Look, I know we said Danny was the hero player doing a lot of the work and that they can't rely on him, but I think Dugongs have shown that they aren't relying on him. We saw Tuck show up, we saw Anubis show up, we saw SL Tuck show up, we saw all the players show up and really, really rock UniSA's world. There wasn't much to say about the first map. The second map, even, the scoreline 7-2. So, well done to UniSA. Definitely had some great moments, especially coming back from dire odds as the ones they faced. But Dugongs definitely in control on Clubhouse and Oregon.
Yeah, I mean, where do we start? Like, first of all, Clubhouse, I think Dugongs were maybe I would say a bit rusty. They just needed to warm up a little bit. Dropped a few maps on the defense, but they came back on the attack. And unfortunately, UNSA just weren't able to stop their momentum, and Dugongs pushed it through into Oregon, their own map choice, with a lot of 5-1, I believe, on the defense holds on Oregon, which is very amazing to see. But UNSW, UNSA, sorry, they didn't give up at the end. I like that they had these final moments where they brought back 2 rounds, because that's what we like to see in Siege. Like, you don't give up even till the end. And it's good that they held their cool right till the end. But Dugongs, in the end of the day, they just were the better team tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about the scoreline being fairly one-sided, 7-3, 7-2, but I believe that it doesn't reflect the true nature of how some of these rounds went down. I mean, that round 8 that we saw on that second floor, Danny only won that because he managed to get the diffuser. Had the diffuser been with the other player, it would have been game over for University of Wollongong. And again, lots of rounds, it came down to 1v1s, 4v2s where, Dugongs were able to clutch out from those situations. So a lot of the time, UniSA were actually in the lead and were in a position to win. It's just unfortunate that they couldn't close it out. So yeah, with that, Dugongs will pick up a much needed win. They have suffered 2 losses already, so they want to pick up another one. And for UniSA, they're going to need to, have a think about how they're going to approach the rest of this group stage. But that's about all the time we have for tonight. We do want to once again give a shout out to our sponsors. We've mentioned Predator. Now it's the time to talk about AOC, the best viewing experience. AOC is a global leader in monitor display technology. For more than 50 years, AOC has delivered an exceptional viewing experience to millions of loyal customers worldwide. Today, the company offers a wide selection of stylish monitors for home, office, or gaming. And of course, we have RIG, our headset partner, what it takes to win. RIG develops headsets delivering superior audio for competitive gamers and streamers at all levels. Join the RIG team and enhance your gaming experience. Those are our sponsors. Big shout out once again. Thank you so much for making this all possible, making sure all our uni players get to play, that we get paid as well for talking about them playing as well. And of course, if you want to see more of us and more of AEL, make sure to find out about AEL and upcoming events and live streams on AU Esports League on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok as well. And also Twitch, we have Twitch channels at AEL Uni and AEL Uni 2. So two channels, 2 times the action. But yeah, that's it for tonight. Any parting thoughts before we go, Commandante?
Well, I would like to give credits for myself, of course, for allowing Dugong to win this time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a beautiful match played by both teams, as you said. It was very close. It's just those little things that add up, and just be able to win those tiny 1v1 gunfights is just the key. So UNSA, they should be proud of themselves despite what seems to be a fairly convincing scoreline against them. They held their heads high right till the end, and that's what we like to see. So congratulations to both teams.
Yeah, 100% agree. It was a great fight. Definitely never really felt like UniSA were completely out of it. Speaking of out of it, though, we will be out of it now. We do need to disappear. So thank you for watching, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.